Hey, this is IndigoMusic.com. I'm Rohit, and it's time for yet another edition of Experience Sessions. And joining me is someone whose songs we've been playing on air for quite some time. Songs like Goddess and other songs we've been playing for some time now on air. I'm talking about Nikitaa. Welcome to IndigoMusic.com.
Thank you so much for having me and for supporting me for so long.
It's our pleasure because your songs are so nice to hear. It's just, we love to play good music, and yours really comes up on that list. What do you say? The music, right? How did you get into music? When did it all start for you? What was that moment when you decided, hey, you know what, music is something that I got to do?
Oh my gosh, I was so young the first time that I knew I wanted to be on stage in general. I think I was 3.
Okay.
And my cousin was performing at like a school function. And I turned to my mom and I was like, one day that's gonna be me. And then I badgered her until she got me like singing lessons and dance lessons. And so I've been in and out of both singing and dance lessons since I was about 4 years old.
Right.
And I kind of always knew I wanted to be performing in some way or other. Both music and dance came into my life at the same time, and I fell in love with both at the same time.
Right.
But singing was like my heart always. And I think it like fully solidified when I was 14. I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Right. Now, would you call yourself a Mumbai girl or would you call yourself a LA girl?
That's a hard question to answer because I grew up in Mumbai.
Right.
So I think somewhere deep down inside, I'll always be a Mumbai girl.
Right.
And honestly, no humor hits harder than Bombaya humor. So I can't ever escape that part of me. But at this point in my life, I'm definitely an LA girl. Although that term does come with a lot of stereotyping, so
Yeah,
I should be careful.
It's not that what we're talking about. It's just a regular question. Now let's talk about your brand new track. It's called Peter Pan. What is the track all about? How did you come up with the lyrics, and what's the production process like?
Well, the lyrics are a byproduct of a very dating scene. Dating in your late 20s is very different than dating in your early 20s. I feel like when you're in your early 20s, you just go off of chemistry and raw connection, and that's just not the case in your late 20s, especially if you're not a man. But unfortunately, a lot of men don't age the same way. So you encounter a lot of people who just are not mature. They have what we like to call Peter Pan syndrome. They behave like children even though they're full-grown adults.
Yeah.
And I walked into the session, and it was the first session that I'd had in 2022 where I had a co-writer, and we were just talking like, when you're in a writing session, whether I'm writing for someone else or we're writing for me, it's almost like therapy. You just talk about life and you find something that inspires everyone and you just go from there.
Right.
And so I was telling everyone about my dating stories, and I have a few bad ones that I'm not going to mention here, but I was telling them about my dating stories, and we just landed on this concept of Peter Pan, and it was so good. I love a good metaphor, and I love roping in like fiction and mythology if it's not obvious already.
Right.
So like the minute that concept came about, I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. We have to go with it. And then we just made it really funny. Like the whole chorus is like, I'd rather be with Captain Hook because at least he's a grown man than be with a man-child Peter Pan character. So like, it was just all at that point fun and jokes. Like we just wanted to have fun with it.
Fantastic. That's a great way. You mentioned, I'd rather be with Captain Hook rather than Peter Pan. I think that's a great thing. It's a great thinking. If we always glorify Peter Pan, nobody really gives any credit to Captain Hook. Now, I want to talk about your plans for 2023. Any plans of performing live in India, in Mumbai, in Bangalore? What's happening?
I don't know. So far I've been back in India for a little bit in February for work. I was called in for a lot of songwriting work, so I worked on that, and I had the privilege of being featured in Femina India, so I was there for that. But I haven't I don't know if I'll be back to perform. I mean, if the opportunity arises and it's significant enough, sure, I'd love to come, but I am doing a lot of shows currently in LA,
Okay.
which I'm really excited about. Performing live is where my heart is at its core. I love recording, but there's something about connecting with people live and telling them the stories about your songs and having different arrangements for your music that's just so fun. And I feed off of that energy. I've just been really enjoying it.
Fantastic. And you've collaborated with many people, Ash King, and you've also made a song for Netflix. Who is your dream collaborator? Like, do you have a particular band or a particular person in mind that one day I want to collaborate with this person?
Yes, I have a list.
Who comes from the top five? Let's say top five of that list.
Oh my gosh, at the tippy top of that list since I was 12 has always been Beyonce. I love her.
Queen.
I mean, I feel like you can hear it at times in my music too, that you can hear the influence, but I absolutely adore her. I adore her artistic mind, even outside of just the music, the way she puts a show together and the way she presents her brand, like everything about her I love. So I feel like that would just be, I would have known like I made it. I fully made it if I worked with her, for sure. And then I would say the second person right underneath that same feeling is Jon Bellion. I adore him as a songwriter and a producer. The way he crafts sound, nobody does it like Jon does it. And it's interesting because Jon's written for Beyonce. So, you know, and then I would say
since we're talking about everyone connected to Beyonce, how about Jay-Z?
No. I don't think that's my sphere at all. It just so happens that Jon has written for Beyonce, but I would say third on that list is Frank Ocean.
Okay.
I think the way he brought alternative pop and R&B, and I wouldn't even say it's alternative because he's different and he brought it into the mainstream, but the way he just shone a light on the development of R&B music has just been amazing to see. And also to have a fellow person of color, queer artist in the mainstream space in such a big way is just so beautiful to witness. I love his artistry.
Fantastic. And what's cooking in the studios of Nikitaa? What's happening? Any new releases after Peter Pan? Is there going to be an album? Is there going to be a single? What's happening?
Oh my gosh, yes. We have some amazing music set for summer. I'm really excited for the next release. It's called Throne.
Okay.
It's going to be, it's very much inspired by like house music. It's still pop and dance, but like it has certain elements of like typical OG house music that we've been seeing with Renaissance as well. But
I was about to talk about Renaissance because you said Beyonce.
Yeah.
Her album
well, yeah.
Yeah.
But Renaissance is also an ode to a lot of queer music, and where a lot of current pop music originated from was queer spaces. And being queer, like I always like to pay homage to those spaces as well. So I'm really looking forward to that single. But there's just a lot of different kinds of music. Throne is really fun and upbeat and tongue-in-cheek and more sensual. But then there's other songs that I'm currently working on that are, I think, the most raw and vulnerable writing I've had to date. So I'm just really excited. There's possibly an EP in the works. So really looking forward to the rest of this year.
And we are looking forward to that as well. Looking forward to Throne because house music is where it is. And it's at the place 2023. It's back with Drake going house, Beyonce going house. Everyone is doing house music. I think it's the perfect time for you to release a house music as well. We'll connect again when Throne releases. But for now, we'll definitely play out Peter Pan on air on indigomusic.com here in Bangalore and in Goa. Nikitaa, thank you so much for connecting, taking some time out. It was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to see platforms like this supporting indie artists. So I always love it when you have me over.
Yep. Thank you. We have always left our doors wide open for, independent artists such as yourself. So thank you so much for connecting and we'll catch up soon.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye.